Well, why is it that one person in a DUI case can be convicted of vehicular manslaughter and be sentenced to 1 year in prison when another person in a DUI case who has not killed anyone gets 4 years in prison? 23 ABC's Christine Din tackled that question of, does the punishment fit the crime? Christine?
Well, Jackie, it's a simple question with a very complicated answer. David Longoria was sentenced to 4 years in jail for a DUI felony accident that severely injured 5 people and caused a fiery explosion last summer. A sentence his mother says is unfair.
He's never been in trouble before. I see so many people go to prison and come out, and they're not rehabilitated. It's an open revolving door.
Even the other driver whom Longoria blinded and nearly killed agrees.
I think it's a little too harsh. I think that because he's so young, that could definitely be detrimental to his future and probably not be in his best interest.
There are people out there who drink and drive and kill people in accidents who were given less time than my son. 16 months for a manslaughter. Where's the justice in that?
It's a question many people, like Mothers Against Drunk Driving advocate Carla Pearson, believes has a logical answer.
I think they need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
But defense attorney H.A. Sala says it's not that simple.
Every case is different. You cannot compare one case to another.
Supervising Deputy District Attorney Mike Raceburn agrees.
It's not an exact science. You don't say this is worth 10 points and this is worth 4 points.
It really depends on the facts and circumstances of the particular case. There's so many factors that go into this.
Factors such as the details of the crash, events and actions leading up to the accident, and blood alcohol level.
Prior convictions, family history, drug and alcohol use history, circumstances of the case, victims' injuries.
Sala says all that is influential, but the tiniest details can crack the prosecution's case and lead to a lighter sentence.
How was the blood drawn? Was the blood drawn properly in accordance to the appropriate protocol? How was the blood analyzed? Was the testing scientifically valid?
Then there's other issues of causation, like possible vehicle malfunction.
You have to look at the condition of the vehicles. I've had cases like that where there was a malfunction in the steering mechanism of the vehicle causing the rollover. The driver was intoxicated, but the accident was not caused by any of her actions. It was caused by a equipment failure of the vehicle.
Sala says that could mean the difference between receiving felony probation and jail time.
You have to look for those issues. They don't just fall from the sky. So you have a good lawyer will look for those issues.
Since we cannot compare two cases, let's examine Longoria's. Here are the details according to the DA's office.
It so happened that about an hour before this crash happened, Mr. Longoria was specifically told by law enforcement officers that he was too drunk to drive, and he did it anyway.
A designated driver was driving the car when Longoria took the keys and got behind the wheel. He ran a red light. His blood alcohol level was 0.18, more than twice the legal limit.
We also filed that he was an unlicensed driver and wasn't insured.
Longoria also caused serious injuries to 5 people.
That he attempted to hide he was the driver, texting his friends to tell them to say he wasn't the driver. This was not simply a young man gone wrong. This was a young man who knew he did wrong, who tried to cover up.
Because Longoria drove drunk and injured someone, he faced a sentence of 3 years for felony DUI, plus 3 years for each one of the 5 people he seriously injured, leading to a maximum sentence of 18 years. The DA's office offered a plea deal of 8 years.
The judge, as they usually do, try to weigh everything. In this case, Mr. Longoria's youth and his lack of DUI-related convictions, and kind of found a middle ground.
Which meant 4 years, 4 months. Longoria asked for less jail time plus mandatory rehab at a treatment center.
There were factors in aggravation in his background that we believe that he would not necessarily be amenable to rehabilitation.
There's so many factors, so people cannot rush to judgment and say, this person got a lenient sentence compared to this other person. They don't know the facts and circumstances of the individual cases.
Now, Longoria is in the process of filing an appeal. For his complete interview, you can go to our website, turnto23.com. In the studio, I'm Christine Din, 23 ABC.